If you don't give up, you still have a chance. Giving up is the greatest failure. These words from Jack Ma are simple, yet they hold the weight of a lifetime's wisdom. Because the truth is, success isn't built in comfort, it's built in struggle. It's born from the moments when quitting feels like the easiest choice, yet you choose to stand one more time. Every great dream faces resistance. Every journey worth taking begins with rejection, doubt, and fear. But what separates the winners from the rest isn't luck or talent, it's endurance. It's the decision to keep moving when your mind says stop. Jack Ma's story is one of the greatest examples of what happens when you refuse to give up. He wasn't born rich. He wasn't born connected. He failed his university entrance exams not once but twice. He was rejected from countless jobs. Even when KFC came to China, 24 people applied in his city. 23 were accepted. Only Jack Ma was rejected. That could have broken him. It could have convinced him that he wasn't good enough. But Jack Ma didn't let rejection define his worth. He believed that failure was not the end, it was a signal to keep trying. Years later, he would go on to build Alibaba, one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the world, from nothing but an idea, a few friends, and a vision. He didn't give up, and that made all the difference. The world remembers his success, but it often forgets the long, painful journey behind it, the years when no one believed, the days when he doubted himself, the times when everything seemed lost, but he kept moving forward. That's what this quote really means. If you don't give up, you still have a chance. It doesn't guarantee success tomorrow or next year, but it guarantees that your story is still alive, your dream's still breathing, your fight's still going. Think about it. Every major breakthrough in history happened because someone refused to quit. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. When people asked him how it felt to fail so often, he said, "I didn't fail. I just found 1,000 ways that didn't work." J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, was rejected by 12 publishers. She was a single mother, broke and struggling, writing in cafes. But she kept writing because she believed in her story. Today, her books have inspired millions across the world. Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, had his chicken recipe rejected more than 1,000 times before one restaurant finally agreed to try it. He was 65 years old when his dream finally took off. Every one of them had every reason to give up. They had every excuse ready, but they didn't, and that made all the difference. Life doesn't reward the people who start, it rewards the people who persist. Because consistency beats talent when talent stops trying. Sometimes we think giving up means we're weak, but in reality, it's the opposite. It takes courage to keep going when nothing makes sense. It takes real strength to smile when everything is falling apart. There's a quiet power in those who endure. They might not talk about it, they might not show it, but they rise every day and do the work. They fight the same battles over and over and still believe that someday it will all be worth it. You see, success doesn't happen in one big moment. It's built brick by brick, day after day, choice after choice. Every small step counts. Every failure teaches you something. Every setback shapes your resilience. There's a moment in every dreamer's life when quitting feels easier, when you've tried everything and it still isn't working, when people around you start questioning your sanity, when your friends move ahead and you feel stuck in the same place. But here's the truth, your path is your own. Comparison kills more dreams than failure ever will. Just because it's taking time doesn't mean it's not happening. Sometimes the universe tests your patience before it delivers your reward. It's as if life is asking you, do you really want this? How much are you willing to fight for it? Because the moment you give up, you lose not just the dream, you lose the possibility of what could have been. You could be 3 feet away from success, like the miner who stopped digging just before hitting gold. You could be one phone call away, one decision away, one step away from changing your entire life, but you'll never know if you quit now. The truth is, success often shows up after the last failure, not before. There will always be days when it feels like your effort is invisible, when you question whether any of this matters. Those are the days that shape you. That's when you build grit. That's when you become the kind of person who deserves the success that's waiting for you. Jack Ma said, "Today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be beautiful." The problem is, most people give up tomorrow night. They quit right before the sunrise. Don't be one of them. If you stay, if you push through, the storm will pass. It always does. The night will end, the pain will fade. And one day, the same people who doubted you will tell others how they always knew you'd make it. But that moment will only come if you don't give up. Even when you fail, even when you fall, even when everything says no, you must say yes. Yes, I will try again. Yes, I will rise again. Because every time you stand after falling, you're proving to life that you cannot be broken. The world is full of people who quit too early. Don't join them. Be among the few who keep walking, even when the road disappears. Persistence is not just a skill, it's a mindset. It's believing that your dream deserves one more try, no matter how many times you've failed. Sometimes, life will push you to the edge just to see if you'll take flight or fall. And that's when you must remind yourself, you've come too far to stop now. Remember your first dream. Remember how badly you wanted it. That fire inside you, it's still there. You just need to protect it from the wind of doubt. Every great achievement you see today was once impossible. Airplanes, electricity, the internet, space travel, all of it was once a dream in someone's head. They were laughed at, mocked, rejected, but they didn't give up. Because people who don't give up don't just change their lives, they change the world. And one day, you could be one of them. You might not know it now, but your struggles are shaping you into someone capable of handling the success that's coming your way. Every rejection is teaching you patience. Every delay is teaching you preparation. Every failure is teaching you strength. You're not losing time. You're building foundation. So, when you feel like quitting, stop and ask yourself, what if this is the turning point? What if everything I've ever wanted is just around the corner? Keep going, because the moment you stop, your story ends. But as long as you're trying, your story is still being written. Maybe today you're tired. Maybe you're frustrated. Maybe it feels like nothing will ever work. But tomorrow could be the day everything changes. So hold on, keep fighting, keep believing, because your future self is waiting to thank you for not giving up today. And when that moment comes, when you finally achieve what once felt impossible, you'll look back and realize that every failure, every tear, every rejection was worth it. Because those moments didn't break you, they built you. And you'll understand what Jack Ma meant when he said, if you don't give up, you still have a chance. That's not just a quote. It's a reminder that life doesn't demand perfection, it demands persistence. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be the one who never stops trying. So keep your head high, your heart strong, and your spirit unshakable. Because one day, your story of persistence will inspire someone else not to give up. And that's how change begins, one person who refuses to quit. So, no matter how dark it gets, no matter how slow the progress seems, no matter how many times you fail, keep going. Because the moment you stop believing in your dream is the moment it truly dies. But if you hold on, if you keep walking, then your chance is still alive. And one day, you'll stand on the other side of your struggle, look back at every obstacle you overcame, and smile. Because you'll finally know the greatest success of all was simply not giving up. We all face days when the world seems heavy. When we wake up and feel the weight of yesterday's attempts, today's struggle nods at us. In these moments, Jack Ma's words cut through the fog. Today is hard. He doesn't soften it. He acknowledges it. And that admission alone makes all the difference. Because making a plan, building a dream, hoping for change, none of that starts under perfect conditions. It starts in the uneasy space where you are uncomfortable, unsure, perhaps even doubting. The fact that you feel the tension, the fact that your efforts feel small, means you are real, you are alive, you are in motion. Then Ma goes further. Tomorrow will be worse. Somehow the thought of a harder tomorrow usually pushes us to roll back, to give up, to say, this isn't for me. But here's the twist. He knows that the path to success winds down before it rises. He knows the climb begins with a descent. You might stumble. The conditions might worsen. You might feel more pressure, more resistance, more confusion. But this isn't failure, it's part of the process. Why? Because what you're doing is not just reaching a goal, it's transforming yourself. You're refining grit, sharpening your resilience, building muscles you didn't know you had. The ground being harder tomorrow means you're being tested. You're being asked, do you believe in the sunshine after? Are you willing to walk through the dark so you can stand in the light? And then the reward. The day after tomorrow will be sunshine. That's the promise. That's the hope. It's not maybe not if things go well, but a clear mark, a time when your perseverance meets payoff, when your consistency bursts into breakthrough, when your belief becomes visible. For many people, that moment doesn't come because they stop on the hard today or worse tomorrow. They drop the walk in the middle of the dark tunnel. Jack Ma's quote says, "Don't, keep going." Imagine this like the dawn of a mountain climb. You start when it's dark, your only light is your spark. Today is that darkness. Tomorrow is the deeper valley, cold winds, slippery steps. Maybe you wonder why you started. But then, the next day you crest the ridge, the sun bursts above the horizon, and suddenly everything looks different. You're not the same. You've earned the view. Here are 3 truths hidden in this quote that you can carry in your own journey. 1. Adversity is the entrance to growth. If today is easy, you're probably doing something comfortable. Growth rarely happens in comfort. Growth happens when you lean into discomfort. When you say, "Yes, this is hard, but I'll use the hardness to build strength." When you accept the pushback, the rejection, the fatigue. When you see each difficult moment as a layer in your foundation. 2. The worst moment is not the defeat, it's the decision to stop. Tomorrow, being worse doesn't kill you, it's your reaction that does. If you give up, you never see the peak. If you stay, you transform. The difference between a person who fails and one who succeeds often isn't what happens, but what they did when it did. Did they stop or did they keep moving? Jack Ma's words challenge you to keep moving. 3. Belief is your internal dawn. It precedes the external sunrise. You may not see the sunshine yet, but you must believe it's coming. You must act as if the light is on its way, even when you're walking blind. Your consistent steps, your small wins, your refusal to quit, these are your preparation for daylight. When the sun rises, you'll already be standing at the peak. The sunshine isn't just external, it's internal. It's knowing, I went through, I built through, now watch what I become. So here's your call to action today. Embrace your hard day. Name it. Acknowledge it. This is heavy. I feel the strain. Prepare for the worst tomorrow. Expect a challenge. Make your plan with resistance in mind. What will I do when it gets harder? Hold the vision of the day after tomorrow. Picture your sunrise. Visualize yourself standing in it. I will be stronger. I will be unshakable. And I will shine. Because success isn't a straight line, it's a journey through 3 phases. Today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. The trick is not to stop in phase 1 or 2. The trick is to keep walking until you stand in the sunlight. Let your voice, your actions, your persistence speak louder than your doubts. Let your presence in that dark period become your triumph in the light. Remember, never give up, not just as a slogan, but as your daily decision. Today is hard. Tomorrow may test you. But the day after tomorrow, not just maybe, but will be sunshine.